Welcome to a place where English becomes more than words, it becomes a feeling. Here, we don't just learn grammar or practice phrases. We discover the language of life through the emotional stories of people who shape the world. These are stories of passion, struggle, beauty, and pain. And in every moment, you'll grow not only as an English learner, but as a human being. Today, we follow the journey of a man who lived in silence, but painted like he was shouting from the soul. A man whose pain became beauty, and whose loneliness became light. This is the story of Vincent van Gogh. Vincent van Gogh was born in 1853, in the quiet countryside of the Netherlands. From a young age, he saw the world differently. While others played in fields, Vincent stood still, staring at clouds, watching the wind, listening to the silence. He was quiet, thoughtful, and deeply sensitive. He could feel emotions like they were storms inside him. But he didn't know how to let them out. His father was a strict pastor. The family valued discipline, religion, and hard work. But Vincent wasn't made for rules. He was made for wonder. As he grew up, he tried to follow the path others wanted for him. He worked at an art gallery. He taught school. He studied theology. He became a preacher among poor miners in Belgium. But in every job, he felt like a stranger in his own skin. Nothing felt right. He wasn't looking for money, he was searching for meaning. At the age of 27, in deep poverty and isolation, Vincent began to draw. He taught himself with books and practice. He sketched farmers, laborers, and women at work. He didn't paint what was beautiful. He painted what was real. His early works were dark, brown, gray, rough. They told stories of suffering, survival, and simplicity. He painted people with dirty hands and tired eyes. Not heroes, but humans. The world rejected him. Critics said his work was ugly and strange. People whispered about the men who wore old clothes, walked alone, and never smiled. But Vincent didn't care. Because when he painted, he felt alive. He lived in small, cold rooms. He often went without food. But he always found a way to buy paint. Only one person truly believed in him, his younger brother, Theo. Theo worked in an art gallery in Paris. He sent Vincent money, supplies, and most importantly, love. They exchanged hundreds of letters. Vincent poured out his thoughts, hopes, and fears. Theo was his anchor in a sea of loneliness. Vincent moved from place to place, always chasing light. In a small town in the Netherlands, he painted one of his first major works, The Potato Eaters. It was raw and dark, showing a family eating under dim light. Vincent said he wanted to show life as it really is. But still, no one listened. No one understood. He remained poor, unknown, and alone. But he kept painting. Because for Vincent, painting wasn't a job. It was a way to survive. In 1888, Vincent moved to Arles, in the south of France. He believed the light there would save him. He dreamed of creating a house where artists could live, paint, and support each other. He called it the Yellow House. For a time, he felt hopeful. The sunflowers he painted glowed with golden warmth. He filled his rooms with light and color, trying to build a world that felt safe and beautiful. His dream became more real when Paul Gauguin, a fellow artist, came to live with him. Vincent believed they would become brothers in art. But reality was harder. Gauguin was proud, critical, and cold. Vincent was passionate, emotional, and sensitive. Tensions rose. Their differences clashed like thunder. One night, after a violent argument, Vincent's mind shattered. In a moment of deep emotional pain, he cut off part of his ear. He collapsed. He was taken to the hospital. The townspeople called him mad. Some feared him. Others avoided him. But even in the hospital, he painted. He painted the walls, the garden, the staff. He painted his pain. Because art was the only way he could speak when words failed. He later moved to a mental asylum in Saint-Rémy. There, in isolation, he created his most famous work, The Starry Night. The sky in the painting is wild, full of swirling energy and light. A small town sleeps below. A dark tree rises like a flame. But the stars, they move, they shine, they whisper. It wasn't a real sky. It was the sky inside his mind, restless, full of longing and light. Vincent continued to write to Theo. Letter after letter, he thanked him, shared his thoughts, and described each new painting. Theo remained his only lifeline. But even Theo couldn't stop what was coming. Vincent's health declined. He felt tired. Worn out by sadness. Empty from being unseen. In July of 1890, Vincent walked into a wheat field with his paints. There, he ended his life. He died 2 days later, in Theo's arms. He was 37 years old. And in his entire life, he sold only one painting. Vincent van Gogh lived a life of silence, struggle, and rejection. But he never stopped painting. Because in his paintings, he found a voice. A voice that still speaks today, to the lost, the lonely, the misunderstood. He teaches us. You don't need to be accepted to be worthy. You don't need applause to be powerful. You just need to stay true to what's inside you. If you ever feel unseen, remember Vincent. And keep painting your own stars.